So Eileen, how has the EAL Excellence Award been a driver for school improvement in your school?
I think the first driver is around consistency. I think we felt that we were doing a lot of the things in the EAL award, but we had to ask ourselves if we were doing it consistently across all departments and levels. Secondly, it's really helped our parental engagement and the different forms that takes, really from getting to know the parents and the family from the outset. And part of that is understanding the whole child, who they are, where they've come from, their background, their perhaps political upheaval that's affected their move to the UK, and the effect it might have on the whole family.
I think the biggest thing for us when we were doing it was it identified that we needed to really look at assessment for our EAL pupils, and that was a big thing for us. EMTAS really supported us with that as well, and we had a really good look at the Bell Foundation and where the children actually were on that. And through doing that, I think that just gave us a really clear idea of what we needed to work on with some of the pupils. It was particularly useful because we use that with our teachers. I think our next step for us is to use that with our teaching assistants as well, because our teaching assistants obviously work heavily with the children as well.
I think for us it was mainly about prioritising what actions we need to look at in terms of working more towards the silver and also the gold, because when I looked at all of the requirements of what we were already doing, I created a list of things as priorities. So although we've secured the bronze level, I've got an action plan of things that we're driving forward for the silver level. So I think it helped. There was lots of things going on. I think it helped us to understand a standard, a minimum of what really should be going on, and collate all that and make everybody aware as a whole staff team as to what was expected and what standards should be being maintained, same as curriculum expectations and things like that, but also to focus how we then drive that forwards. And actually some of the things were really, really simple, and even for the Bronze Award, when I looked through, there were some very simple changes. The SEN governor is something that everybody's referred, or the EAL governor is something that everybody's referred to. That was such a simple change, because under my responsibilities, because I look after SEN as well as EAL, the governor that I've already got, well, let's now discuss that as well. That was the easiest thing to change, but actually will make the biggest difference, because again, it will maintain that focus.
I think also it's reinforced our expectations of all of our EAL pupils, whatever level of language and proficiency that they have, that we really want the very best for all of them. I think there's been much better collaboration between ourselves in the EAL department and the different teachers that we have across quite a large secondary school, and I think that's helping to drive improvement as well, because we've got much better communication than we had. And I think, lastly, it's really helped us. We have bronze at the moment, but looking at the indicators for the higher levels, it's enabled us to put things in place to get the next level. For example, looking at engagement with the governors and their involvement.
So how did you go about preparing for your submission or for your validation visit, Eileen?
I think it's very helpful if you can have an advocate on the senior leadership team who can work with you. I was fortunate to have my deputy head who was committed to work towards the process as well. And she gave me a number of hours to work on it, which was really helpful. And then one of our governors came on board when she was allocated the EAL governor role as well. And I think that was really helpful in putting it all together.
Definitely, I would say having a file and being able, I thought mine with me today, being able to put it into the different sections and then gain as much evidence as possible for each area really, really helps you to see what you're covering, and it makes it very, very clear when the validation comes about and you submit your award.
It also gave us the opportunity to really analyse and audit the practice that the teachers were putting in, from senior management team all the way down to the lunchtime supervisory staff. It was a whole school commitment. We interviewed pupils, we wanted their views on board, and we also interviewed and surveyed parents, because we felt it was a whole school involvement and they really needed to have their contribution towards it and have ownership of it.
I sort of went for a soft copy approach. I decided I was going to try not to print and do everything sort of online. So what I did was took the online tool, all of the criteria, turned it into a Word document, and that was the basis of the initial staff meeting that we had with everybody, basically talking about what do we do for each criteria, what do we already do, so that everybody had that opportunity to share and also celebrate what we were already doing. And then off the back of that, created an action plan of things we needed to do. So I took lots and lots of photos of different things happening in school, photos of our Young Interpreters Board, our Celebrating Cultures Board, so photos of lots of all of the things to collate it all together. And then most of it, apart from a few hard copy things, most of it was all on my computer.
So Eileen, what are your thoughts and plans for the next steps at your school?
Our plans are to go for our silver award. We've only got a few indicators now that we need to achieve that. But I think alongside that, we're trying to maintain our consistency for our bronze. It's easy sometimes to perhaps lose momentum if you're very busy at the beginning of the academic year during exams and things like that. So it's keeping our momentum going and applying for our silver as soon as we can.
We've got quite a few things that we're planning to do to work towards getting the gold. One of them is going to be analysing and trying to progress data according to the language ethnic groups to identify whether there's any risks of underachieving, which is something I've never really thought about before, is to actually realise what children we have got in our school and whether there are huge gaps in areas. Also using outcomes from that point to identify objectives for our 3-year development plan.
It can seem that there's lots to do, but actually if you've got the support of the whole school and the leadership team behind you, looking at everything, it's a good audit process, as you were saying, for everything that you're already doing. And I think many schools would be surprised at how many of those attributes, certainly for the bronze award or possibly silver, that they are already doing.
The EAL cluster meetings are brilliant for that, so you actually get to talk to other people who are in the same situation as you, and maybe they're going for the award, and it sort of helps you to moderate the award really and look at where your gaps are, what are you doing, what hints and tips have you got, so that's really good. I've been able to get out and meet lots of people as well, like I recently presented at the EAL conference, and that was really good because I could talk to other practitioners within that as well. And I've also done other things where I've been able to present elements of our work like young interpreters, and that's been really good because it's also helped me to meet people who are maybe on the journey to the award or are doing similar things in their school, so sort of sharing and disseminating practice really.
It would be very helpful as well if other practitioners can come and visit other settings that have already achieved the award to have a look around at the practice. And as you were saying, we've done some of that at the network meeting, but actually to be able to go and visit other settings I think would be very beneficial to see how that's all been put in place.
When I actually started looking at it, I realised it was actually helping me help the children. So it was, and also I actually found it enjoyable. I genuinely did. I thought it was great. I've loved every aspect of it. I've loved being able to build the file of all the evidence that we've got, being able to actually see what we are doing and feeling more confident in my role to know how we can move forward. So I would absolutely agree, tell anybody to go ahead and do it.